Hi, Smriti.
Hi.
Cool.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Nisha.
Good
Padma.
evening. Hi, Smriti. Hi. Nice to meet you.
Yeah. For those who don't know Smriti, like I'm waiting for some more people to join and then I'll introduce her.
I was so excited to know you'll be coming this evening.
So am I. I think just seeing her beautiful face makes things better.
I know, and really.
Seeing like that glow on the screen, it's like, oh wow,
Yeah.
gorgeous.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So let's see, maybe a couple of more people may join, and then in 2 minutes we can begin.
She is beautiful and beautiful soul and a beautiful at heart also.
Absolutely.
It's gorgeous.
My definition of beautiful is never external, honestly. Though she's externally very beautiful.
Yeah. And Smriti
Okay, now I'm wondering.
Now what? Can't receive more.
and Smriti has been talking to me about you since a very long time. Join Bandana.
Yeah.
I said, okay, finally I have joined.
Yeah, because, I had no clue about Soul's Temple and what it's all about. And when I got talking to Badna and when I attended a couple of sessions, it was just so beautiful. So much shifted for me. I've been part of Access. I do a lot of classes and stuff, but there's still the level and the depth to which things got shifted and cleared for me with Bandana. It was amazing. I signed up for a session with her, and that session was amazing. Like, can I share that with everyone? Bandana,
Yes,
is
sure.
that okay? So I had this weird pain. It was on my calves, or actually the shin bone. Okay, and it was more of an intensity, like a very very heavy intensity, and I couldn't figure out what to do. And I've had that for almost like 6 years now. Okay, it wasn't all the time, but suddenly it would just sort of crop up, and it would be so difficult to deal with, and it used to really really slow me down. And then while doing the Soul's Temple session with her, it showed up as whenever there's some issue with my family, or when I remember certain things about all the things that I was made to do after getting married, and things that were not fun, and how they were controlling me and stuff. And that resentment is what I had stored there. So when she made me do the Soul's Temple clearings and stuff, so the pain literally, which I could feel it shifting. So it was earlier behind my calf, that calf muscle, then it would rise up all the way up to my thighs, then it would go back. And throughout that session, it just kept moving up and down. I could really literally perceive whatever was going on. And after that session, it just left. And it hasn't ever come back again. So thank you. Thank you so much for that, Padma. So that's the
Thank
reason I
you.
really, really recommend. And it's not just about the pain. There is so much that you can perceive, and the fact that there's just so much of kindness and so much of love, and uh, the genuineness is what I like. So today's our mutual admiration
Admiration club.
club, Padma.
Smriti, Bandana has been so kind to me. She gave me a 9-day, 1 hour daily session just for me. And she's cleared up so much in me that I just can't express.
How
No
does it get any
words
better?
of gratitude to her. I don't have any words. I've got out of the depression. I've got out of so much shit that was in me. It's all come out and gone. I'm feeling much lighter and more at peace, with myself.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. And I, as much as I share whatever I know and whatever I'm doing with Soul's Temple, I would say that like it's reciprocal. It is like equally Smriti or Anjali, like the people that I work with, they are equally gifting me so much that I think it is just like a simultaneity of gifting and receiving. And thank you so much for just participating in my workshops. And it because the more, I mean, Smriti has shared with so many people, and so many people have joined me through Smriti. And similarly, everybody who's coming to one workshop and then they sharing it with more people and more people. Today it has reached such a big space. I mean, it's not about the number of people it has reached to. I know the reach is far and wide. And yeah, Smriti, I met Smriti first time in 2019, 2020 January,
Yeah,
right?
2020.
Business Done Different. I did her class, Business Done Different.
Not in Jan, sometime in March, I think.
Jan,
March.
Feb something, right? It's February, January sometime. Maybe March. March was Raipur, I think, but before Bombay, a month
Just after
before.
the ESP class. So
Yeah,
it was March.
March. So
First week.
it doesn't look like it's just 1 year that I know her. It looks like I know her forever. The kind of conversations we've had, and the kind of sharing and sessions. She did SOP for me. I did Business Done Different twice with her, and then I did the entity classes with her, and so many things I've done with her. My whole outlook towards myself, it's what I realized is business done different is not just about the business. It's not just about the earning money factor. It's also about how much you value your being, and how much you are kind of, she always talks about the wealth of your being. And that wealth of your being was a new term that I heard in the Business Done Different. And after that, of course, a lot of things, right voice for you activity and whatnot, so much has contributed in whatever span we've met each other, that if I start talking, probably 1 hour will go only in talking about that. So I'd rather stop that for now. And let's do what we are here for today. And why I called her here is I wanted to call a couple of more people in this 1 month long program. I just want to tell Smriti because we haven't had a conversation in detail. So basically, I'm one second. So Smriti, 13th was my Soul's Temple, where I worked with Ranjali in a group healing like a demo. And then it just came to me that, okay, let's do 9 days Navratri just for Ranjali and whoever wants to join the group. Some 20 women joined and we all were working together, supporting Ranjali. And in turn, everybody was getting healing for themselves and including me.
Right.
So those 9 days happened, and when those 9 days were progressing, the 5th day or something, I just felt, okay, let me do a 1 month program. And morning, afternoon, evening, I decided 3 slots just for corona, its side effects, the people who are affected by it, the people who have lost people in death, and a lot of other things which are the side effects of COVID. Because you know shamanism also, I'd done a shamanic journey to connect to the spirit of corona and to find out like, okay, how can we work to eliminate that? And what came to me, I saw like fire in the entire globe, earth. And so like the metaphor was, it is spreading like wildfire, and it is.
It is.
So, but the flash message that came to me in that journey was, okay, just the way the virus is spreading like wildfire, what if we could spread healing like wildfire? And that, and then I had a couple of more friends whom I told them also to do the same journey. So somebody is doing healing for the earth, just for the earth spirit. Somebody is doing some media work, somebody's doing something else. So a couple of us, we decided, okay, let's do. And I'm very much of a person who likes to work with people. So I took up this Soul's Temple that, okay, for a month, let me just do dedicatedly only for this. And so that is the reason we're all together. The gift of that to me is, I've become very disciplined. I wake up every day morning at 6:30, I have a session. And it doesn't feel like an effort because it is so exciting for me to wake up in the morning and do this with the people in the morning. So I really found that that thing that people say, right? That something that you can wake up in the morning with so much excitement that you just feel like doing it over and over again. So that's what it is for me, this whole program and Soul's Temple and the people who are participating. The kind of already transformations that we are seeing, like people who actually lost people to death and were crying on the first day. After 3-4 days, they are able to just talk about it and not cry and not feel sad, and are able to handle it in a very empowered way. And then, of course, pains and aches are going away, and a lot of other things are shifting for everybody. And I've started putting the recordings on SoundCloud and YouTube just so that it spreads. That's the only way I know how to spread it. And wherever it spreads, it's spread. I'm really not vested in the outcome, but the thing is that what else is possible and what more can we co-create together. And so I wanted like some special people whom I consider special in my life to be on board with me and contribute what they can contribute. So for everybody here, Smriti is an access consciousness facilitator of Business Done Different, of Talk to the Entities. She used to teach Right Voice to You. I think she may be doing again. And then Access Bars Foundation and a lot of other classes of access. Apart from that, she's a great painter and she's also uh, learned flying. She's has a training as a pilot. So there are a lot of things to her, and she's a mom of 2 beautiful children and lives in a family with her mother-in-law in a joint family. So as much as I've known Smriti for this 1 year, I haven't seen yet in Access Consciousness a more authentic person.
Thank you.
So that's my, if I have to say it in one line, because I know so many people in Access Consciousness and otherwise.
Vouch for that.
Isn't
I
it? And not only you, I am sure Baban will say yes, and the people who know you will say yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Me too. Totally off us, Smriti and you.
Yes, of course. Both of you.
So yeah, thank you, Smriti,
Thank
and
you.
let's talk. What is it that is your take on whatever is going on, and how can you know, how can you support everybody here? What is it that you would like to do?
Wow, cool. So thank you for such a beautiful introduction, Vanna. Thank you so much. So today what I'll talk about is in general, it's not just because of the pandemic or with whatever's going on in our world. It's about with every aspect of your life, where are you choosing to stop yourself for whatever reasons? Okay, so let's talk a little bit about money and why we end up stopping ourselves, and what could be the reasons, and how do we overcome all that. And I will end today's session with a bit of an energy pull so that you can invite whatever possibilities, whatever it is that you're looking for into your life. Okay, you can choose to do this every day, that energy ball exercise also. So what happens is, most of this reality, tends to function from a lot of deprivation or scarcity or lack. Okay, and they tend to live in denial that this can happen with others, it can't happen to us, or they don't want to deal with things that are right there in front of them. So they keep just sidelining things and not really facing their fears and dealing with it and going beyond it. Okay, so it's more real to have that lack and that deprivation, because that's how other people function. So you tend to just sort of fit in with that and not choose more for yourself. So if we give in to that, we are not willing to be present to or with what we would like to have, because we feel this is the reality and this is the only way things are possible. So you'll go into that major saving mode. Like right now, because of Corona, what's happening is people are not choosing a reality that they would like to create. They're giving into the fear, and then they are just hoarding things. What happens when you're hoarding something? When you're hoarding something, you start. When you're hoarding something, you start. Can I just mute everyone? Is that possible? Sorry. All right. So what happens is when you're hoarding something, that means you're giving more importance to the lack of money, that is, or lack in every aspect. Okay. So whatever you're giving energy to is what you're inviting into your life. So like, for example, the universe is huge. Okay. It's a huge, big, massive place, and it is here to give to you. However, it gives to you, how do you know how does the universe know what to give to you? Okay, it depends on the vibration you're being. So whatever it is that you are giving energy to, because universe just deals with energy, it understands only energy. So whatever it is that you're giving energy to is what you're attracting into your life. Okay, so for example, if you're giving energy to all the panic that is sitting in all over the world, then you are inviting. If you fear corona and if you set in with the panic all over, you're going to invite that into your life. And then you'll say, okay, cool. See, I told you, this is what I need to fear. And see, it actualized. But when you start giving energy to what it is that you desire, not from the space of how it will happen, or I've been asking for it and nothing is showing up, but more from the space of just that ease of effortlessness. What will it take, universe, for me to have this with total ease? And with no point of view, no controlling how it has to show up, no deciding how it has to show up, just allowing it to show up. You know, most of us get into computing or sort of head tripping as to how it will come, or suppose I ask for 10 crore rupees, who's going to give it to me? It can't be that easy. It's going to be really difficult. It'll take me a few months to create that kind of money, or maybe a few years, or whatever each one's reality is at that moment. But who's stopping you from receiving it? You yourself, okay? Your own points of view is what is moving that receiving further and further away. So you only start delaying whatever has to come to you. So be very present to that. So the energy or the vibration that you're being is what you're attracting into your life. And so let me give you a small example of that. Long back, and I love giving my mother-in-law examples. Long back, my mother-in-law was traveling by train to visit some relatives. And so she and her another sister-in-law was traveling with her, and somebody stole her handbag. Okay. So she had a lot of jewelry and cash in it, and she had these very amazing new goggles or sunglasses, which she really loved. All that got taken away, and she was really, really, really upset about it. Now, what happens in a typical Punjabi family is, everybody will call you, what happened? And then you give them the whole story of, this is what happened. And so much of cash was taken away, and so much jewelry, and kitna nuksan ho gaya. So the emphasis was on nuksan, like bahut nuksan ho gaya, sare paise chale gaye and all. Okay, now and usually Punjabi families are huge, touch wood for that, but so she would narrate that incident to everybody, and she would focus on the amount of nuksan that has happened. Okay, when she came back home to Delhi, there was this part of the roof in our living room which needed repair. There was suddenly a lot of leakage, so they had to remove that and set another put the ceiling again and all that. So there was a lot of money to be spent on that again. And then she got a huge electricity bill, which she never really thought she would get, because she usually stays here in Mumbai with us. So then she had to deal with that. And I happened to call her, and she said, "Pata nahi beta, bas nuksan hi nuksan ho raha hai, nuksan hi nuksan ho raha hai." And I said, see what you're giving energy to. Whoever's calling you, you just keep telling them kitna nuksan ho gaya hai. What are you inviting into your life? You're inviting more reasons for more nuksan. Okay, so that's what it is. We don't realize in our daily lives what we are giving energy to. We'll keep on cribbing about things. We'll keep on cribbing and focusing on the lack or not enough or whatever it is that's bothering us, instead of saying, okay, what's required here? I mean, I'm done with this. This needs to change right now. And it's just a choice. Literally, it's just a choice. And it's a decision that I don't care how it shows up. This is changing right now. And then the commitment to change is what is important. Okay. So while I'm talking, I would like you to write down what the one thing that you're 100% committed to, one thing that you're 70% committed to, one thing that you're 50% committed to, and one thing that you're 20% committed to. Just write it down while I'm talking. And yeah, 20, 50, 70, and 100, whatever it is that you're committed to, just not on your paper, write it on the chat here so that I can see. So let's continue with the rest then. So what happens is, when you're asking for money to show up, start being that energy, start stepping into the energy of money. Now, how does one do that? Okay, so it's really interesting, like how many of us subconsciously refuse to step into the energy of money. Okay, so there's lots that you can do to do that. One of them is go to a wealthier area from where you live. Okay, take in the ambience of those big, beautiful houses. Get the energy of what it would be like to live in such houses. Okay, and step into that energy of that. Invite it. Universe, what will it take for me to own and live in a house like this? Get that energy. Okay. What else? Get that energy of opulence. Just soak it in, pull energy from it, and invite it into your world. Okay. Just sort of make a demand to actualize it for yourself. A demand is something I'll talk about in a while. Okay. So another thing is, if you've got a bunch of cash, just touch it, feel it, get the sense of how awesome it feels to have so much cash around, just be grateful, just have an energy of total gratitude every time you're looking at money and touching it. Okay, look at your jewelry, touch it, enjoy, revel in wearing it. These are the things when you are actually in sync with that energy of wealth and money. Okay. When you go to a store, say for example, you walk into a Louis Vuitton showroom. Okay, now those bags are priced like they're very, very costly. They'll cost about maybe more than 1.5 lakhs. Okay, and beyond. So what happens is, you like certain bags. First of all, the moment you walk in, the people there, the staff, including the guard, would sort of, the first thing they'll do is they'll look at you and they'll judge you. Can you even think of, what are you even thinking of? Like, how dare you even walk into this showroom? Can you even purchase? Are you even going to purchase any of these bags? So that first step is when you start perceiving the judgment, starting from the guard onwards. And what happens? Your barriers immediately go up. Then you walk into the showroom and the staff will also look at you. They'll be kind, they'll be nice, but they'll also have that energy of, why are you even here? Like, I'm just going to waste my time because you're not going to really buy anything. Just lower your barriers at that moment. Okay. And then look at the bags. Just take in the opulence of the shop. Take in the amount what is it that's making them price these bags so much. Okay. And if there's a bag that you like, look at it, ask them to show it to you, look at it. And even if you cannot pay for it right now, do not deny yourself that. Say, I'll come back for you. This is if you really, really want it. Okay. You can just admire it and give it back. Or if you really would want to buy that and you think it's stupidity to spend 2 lakhs on a bag, pocket pod or destroy and uncreate all those points of views, and then talk to that bag and say, I'd really, really love to have you. Okay. Show me the different ways in which I can create for you. What will it take for me to receive you or be able to have you as a part of my wardrobe? Okay. Now, what are you doing when you're being present and you're talking to the bag? I know it will sound foolish when, especially for people who are not really part of Access, they'll wonder, what is she even talking? Like, she wants us to talk to the bag, or she wants us to talk to inanimate objects. It is not that. It's just every object, whether it's inanimate or not, has consciousness of its own. Okay. And that is what you're talking to. So when you are saying, I'll come back for you sometime soon, is when you are choosing it. That first thing is the choice to have that bag with you, whether you have the money or not. Okay, what did you just do? You did not push it away. You lowered your barriers and you were willing to receive it. When I'm talking about barriers, barriers are these imaginary walls that we have around us, which prevents us from actually inviting more possibilities into our life. We create those barriers or those imaginary walls because we don't want to be hurt. So, so we already have that energetic barrier. So we create it so that nobody hurts us, and we're blocking all the bad things from coming our way, but we are also in the bargain blocking everything that is good, whether it is money, whether it is more love, whatever it is. We block all the good things also, because energy doesn't perceive right and wrong or good and bad. It just is. So if it perceives a barrier, then the barrier is against everything else. So the best thing to actually start receiving more and creating more in your life is to let go of your barriers. So you can do that by just saying, okay, deepest barriers down. Okay, you can say it a few more times. A person like me, initially when I got into Access, I had huge barriers. Okay, I just didn't want anybody to hurt me, or I just didn't know how to deal with people. So I had so many layers and layers and layers of barriers. So when people would say, okay, when our facilitators would tell us barriers down, so even though I would lower one barrier, there would be so many more. So there would be like layers right up till, almost 100 feet around me. So I had to literally physically push down those imaginary barriers to be able to connect with people, receive from them, right? So coming back to what we were talking about, when you make the decision to own that bag, I'm just taking a hypothetical example of a bag, but it can be anything. It can be a house, a car, or whatever it is that you're looking for. It can be a great relationship, whatever it is, right? So what that does is you start inviting the energy of that. The moment you choose that bag, you'll be surprised that somebody might just choose to gift it to you. It'll show up in your life in whichever way. It's just because you're choosing to have it with no point of view as to how you'll create for it. Of course, be willing to pay for it. Of course, go ahead, keep on creating for it, but just know that it can show up from anywhere. It's just a choice. And I'll give you an example of how easy and effortless it can be. Okay. One of the days I was traveling from Delhi to Mumbai, and I was on a domestic boarding card, but I was passing through the international airport. So I was passing through the duty free, and one particular perfume just caught my attention. So I actually went back and I looked at that perfume and I smelled it, and it was really, really nice. But I couldn't purchase it that time because I was on a domestic boarding card. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm traveling to Rome just in a couple of days. So maybe I'll purchase it then, or maybe I'll ask my husband to get it for me. And I just left it at that. But at that moment, I had already chosen it, right? The next day, I went to the parlor. Because I was traveling, I got my hair and all done, and the regular whatever is required, facial, this, that, the work. And when I took out my wallet to make the payment, the parlor people gifted me that same perfume, that very same brand, that same size, everything. And I was like so amazed. I was like, have you ever heard of any parlor gifting perfumes? But they did, okay? And they said, I said, are you gifting it to everybody? They said, no, just this one, because you come here so often and just because we wanted to. And I was like, wow, that's interesting. So do you see, it can come to you in any ways, and it can come instantaneously, because I received it the very next day. So when you have no point of view, when you're just willing to receive, and when you choose something, things will work around in such a way that it will happen for you. Like sometimes, people, when they have to choose certain classes or they want to choose something to create something, they immediately make money a big issue. Like this is so expensive, we can't choose this, or it can't be that easy, or I don't have the money to choose it right now. But the moment you make that choice and that willingness to have it no matter what, the money will show up, you'll end up creating things. So look at all those times when you really, really wanted something, like really wanted something, and you managed to create it. It can be a fun trip with your friends, and maybe you required certain permissions, or you required to create money for that, or it can be a particular dress that you really, really wanted, or a particular brand of car, or anything, or maybe the love of your life. You managed to create it. Okay. So now my invitation for all of you is, with your business, with your life, and in everything that you do, be willing to choose it. No matter how it's going to show up, that's not your problem. Just be willing to choose it, and things will start showing up and opening up. Okay. That's what. Now, let me just go to what all you've written. All right. Let me just 100% to my work, to my healing work, 50% to enjoy life apart from work, 20% to everyday home jobs, 70 to family, 50 to relationships, 20 to health, home, work, whatever. Okay, cool. Oh, nice. Now, so all of you have written things, okay? What I want you to be really present to is, the reason I made you guys write this, how committed you are to creating it, is, when you're going about doing things and you're wondering, I'm asking for it, but it's not showing up. It's not showing up because somewhere you're not 100% committed to it. Okay. So thank you, Preeti. I love that. So it's not showing up because you're not choosing it. Okay. So so whatever you're 20% committed to, just write it off, because you're never ever gonna choose it. Okay. So look at whatever you've written. That's not really happening. It's not really true for you. It's not fun for you. Whatever you're 50% committed to, it's either ways, you will choose it or you won't, and more or less it will still be at status quo. It won't move further. Okay. Then whatever it is that you're 70% committed to is what you will create, but you're also 30% on a wait mode. So the wait mode could be maybe your own points of view stopping you, or maybe you do not have the required resources available to create it, or information, the required information, or the people who might contribute to it. So lower your barriers and ask, okay, what is the 30% missing from this creation? What do I need to add? Do I need to add more people? Do I need to add more staff? Is there some information that is missing? Or are my points of view about how I'm going to create the money to choose it is what is stopping me? Because everything is your point of view. Whatever's happening in your life is being created by you, by your own points of view. So just be aware of that. If you think you do not have the money to choose something, it's because your own point of view is stopping you. Okay, because the day you choose, it will show up from wherever. You'll receive the money, you'll receive the means, or it just might be gifted to you. You just have to be willing to choose it. Okay, that choice really, really, really creates. And whatever you're 100% committed to is what you will create. Okay, so just be present with whatever you've written. And if you've been really vulnerable and honest with yourself, that's how it will start showing up. And with all of your creations, ask, okay, everywhere I'm on 20%, 50%, and 70% with the rest of the creations. What will it take for me to choose them 100%? And then you'll wait and watch how things start unfolding. That commitment to choosing it is what creates. Okay, now what else? What happens is, how many of you actually tend to stop yourself based on the reference points that you have? Okay, we'll have reference points, we'll have objectives where we will not be willing to be judged. Because if you're choosing too much for yourself, if you're choosing to show up more dynamically, or if you're making choices that are really, really fun for you, there will be people around you who might not be very happy, and then they will sort of project it onto you, or they will they will just sort of, they might not say anything, or sometimes they'll be angry and upset, definitely. Sometimes they will not say anything, but they'll be projecting it onto you, like how you project a movie on a screen. Similarly, people tend to project their thoughts onto you. So if you have, like, for example, if we have guests at home, my mother-in-law, all she has to do is just look at me, and I know she wants me to get up and make tea for them or give them some snacks and stuff. I just know, and I also know, I get an image of which snacks she wants me to give. It can be that dynamic. So people project everything onto you, and mostly it is because because they are not willing to choose more for themselves, so they will spite you choosing for yourself. Okay, what happens with that is, you perceive that energy, you perceive that somebody is not happy for this particular thing showing up for me, and then you end up killing your own creations. So everything that brought up, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Please write wrong, good, bad, pot, pork, and shots, boys and girls. So what I just used right now was an access clearing statement. For those of you who are not really from Access and are not aware of it, you can check out access clearing statement. You can just Google and you'll find out more details. What was your question, Nisha? So
On the
you
projection.
you do not, so you just say, okay, everywhere I'm allowing other people's projections to stop my creations, I now destroy and uncreate it all. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pork, online shots, boys and girls, just something like that.
Okay.
Or
Okay.
or sometimes when you perceive a weird energy and like a something that is pulling you back, that's the time you just say, okay, who does this belong to? Send it all back to the sender with consciousness attached. Because how many of us actually tend to stop what we'd like to do, what we'd like to choose, because others are not very happy?
Yeah.
Also, what happens is, it's just so important for each one of us to be received by others, right? So we'll bend, fold, mutilate, staple ourselves, and not be too much, because we lower ourselves to their level, or we make ourselves small and less to fit in with them, because it's very important for us that other people receive us. And that's one of the main reasons why we are stopping, not choosing more for ourselves. So I'm not talking only about money today, I'm talking about everything in general. Whatever I'm perceiving the energy and whatever showing up, I'm just addressing that right now. So what's the value of bending, folding, mutilating, stapling yourself to cater to everybody else's happiness? What if you actually became present to what it is that's fun for you? What is it that you choose to or desire for yourself, and just go follow that energy? Everything, whatever it is that you like, perceive the energy of it and just invite that into your life. Most of us go looking for it. What if you could actually invite it into your space? I'll be making you guys do the energy ball exercise just very shortly. And we'll just do that. So what else? I'm just seeing if I'd covered everything. So yeah, one more thing that you can do is, one thing that I do, which is really fun for me. So I'm just giving you one tool of Access, which is the 10% account. So with every time you're creating money, any kind of money, whether somebody gifts it to you, whether somebody, whether you're earning it, or wherever you're receiving money from as a gift, or wherever, even if you find it on the road, okay, 10% of it, put it into your 10% account. Okay, that is one single very amazing method to start creating more and more money. Okay, honor that. The 10% account is also known as the honoring of you account, or honoring of me. Okay, what you're doing is, it's like, it is you acknowledging yourself. It is you choosing to first pay you or honor you before you start paying off or paying your staff or paying the bills. It is you choosing to first honor you. Because now what you're telling the universe, see, everything that you're being and doing is an energy that you're putting out into the universe. So what are you telling the universe? I'm choosing to honor me. So now the universe will start giving you more and more reasons to honor you, to honor yourself. Okay. So here's what you basically, the 10% account for me, okay, is it's like when it's like that's the place where I've honored myself financially, and I just keep turning it up more and more and more. Okay, I just keep on turning up that 10% account just by asking for it, just by energetically expanding to it. Okay, so it's basically like a magical financial creation that has become more of a pull for money. Okay, why? Because it's just fun. So a lot of people will see when they become present and they'll look at that money and they'll go into judgment. Okay, it's not enough. I just have only this much in my 10% account. And sometimes you'll end up using it, which you're not supposed to spend, but you're just supposed to keep it with you. You can choose to buy jewelry or whatever else if you want. Anything that increases in intrinsic value is something you can purchase with that, gold or silver. Okay. However, what happens is just by being there, it is expanding. So every day, okay, tune into it, connect with it energetically, and touch that money energetically, and just have a lot of gratitude and that joy of just having that much and watching it grow. That joy will keep on inviting more and more and more money into your space. Okay, it's ask yourself, so okay, what does the 10% mean to me? It's doing it. It's basically, it's choosing it. You're choosing to have money. That's the reason you're willing to keep the 10% account aside. Okay, don't do it from obligation or have to or should do or must, and that won't create fun for you. Okay, so also, like I used to view earlier, I would view money as sort of when every time I would put money in that 10% account, I would feel it is depleting my bank account and I'm putting it in another account. And, so there's not enough money now for me to spend or do anything with because I've put 10% aside. So for me, initially, it was more like the money is just depleting or it's just disappearing. Okay. Because I was putting it in there in the 10% account and, knowing that I could never touch it. So it was more like putting the money into a black hole, till I actually became present to it and I changed my point of view. Okay. So now I'm very present with it. I'm willing to look at it every day. I wake up, I open my banking apps or whatever, and look at the amount I have a lot of gratitude for it, and just give it more job to do. Your job is to make more money for me, and then just leave it. Okay. So whatever point of view that come up, I just clear them using the access clearing statement, or by saying interesting point of view, I have this point of view. And yeah, so just give it a job. I ask mine to make more cash and money for me to have fun with. Okay. So how much fun can each one of you have with playing with things that are more fun for you? Okay. So that's what it is. Does anyone have any questions, or I'll just go ahead with the energy pull? No questions?
I have a question.
Yes, Jinal, go ahead.
Yes. So what about if you're trying to attract a particular type of a person in our life, and how do we kind of let our barriers down, or if there are any blocks, or how do we create it? Let's put it that way.
So are you looking for a life partner? Is that what
Yes.
you're asking for? Okay, cool. So I'll be just making you do an energy ball exercise. You can get the energy of what you would like in in your life partner, the energy of that into that energy ball. Okay, so I'll help you out with that. So however, right now, the question that you can ask, I can give you a clearing for it. It is, what energy, space, and consciousness can I and my body be to invite a nurturing, caring, contributive, You can add whatever, good looking, rich, whatever other adjectives you want to add on to it. So what energy, space, and consciousness can I and my body be to invite a nurturing, caring, kind, contributive life partner for myself with total ease and at the speed of space? And everything that doesn't allow that, I now destroy and uncreate it all. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pork, online shots, boys, and beyonds. So what I just used was destroyed and uncreated everything and anything that doesn't allow such kind of a person to show up. And I use the access clearing statement after that. Okay, so maybe I think you'll be getting recording of this, so you can go through this particular thing and use this particular clearing for yourself with no point of view, nothing, no deciding how that person will come to you. Just keep asking for this. Okay, get the energy of what kind of a person you'd like to invite, what are the qualities that you would like that person to have, and just be that space of inviting that. Okay, without thinking, oh, I have to, no hows, like no deciding how it is going to show up. That's not your problem. With the creation of anything, okay, don't get into controlling and manipulating how something has to show up. Just let go of that control, let go of not being vested in the outcome, but just a simple tug and an invitation. That's when you let go of the control is when things start showing up. If you're trying too hard, then you're pushing it away because of your own points of view. So be aware of that. Just this clearing will start opening up spaces and pathways. And when I'll be just making you guys do the energy ball exercise, you'll realize how whatever it is that you're asking for, there'll be pathways that will start opening. Whatever matches the energy of what you are looking for, just follow that. Okay. So for example, there might be certain kind of people you like and certain kind of people you don't really like. But then if there might be a person who is not the kind of person you usually like, but he has the qualities of everything that you desire. Other than that, maybe he doesn't look the way you want him to, but he has all the other possible qualities, and then you're just drawn to that person for whatever reason, then that is the person for you. Okay, that way. Or maybe sometimes a person where you've decided, oh, these are beyond my league, I don't deserve such kind of people. That is where you need to stop and destroy and uncreate all your points of view that are preventing you from inviting people. Where have you decided that you deserve somebody or not? Okay, or where have you decided that you can only have this much money and not beyond? So right now, if I ask each one of you to take a deep breath in, take a deep breath in, all of you. Okay, and then just release, and then take another deep breath, like deep, deep, deep breath, and then release. And now the last time, take another deep breath in and release. So did any one of you limit the amount of breath that you could take in? Thought you don't deserve to breathe in that much of air? No, right? You chose to breathe in as much as you could, right? To the fullest lung capacity. So similarly, where have you decided that you can only create, you deserve only this much amount of money or only this kind of a person and not beyond? Okay, get out of that space of deserving something. Just ask for whatever it is that you desire to start showing up.
Priyanshi has raised hands.
Yes, Priyanshi, go ahead.
Yeah, hi Smriti.
Hi.
Can we address the dying relationship or a marriage for that matter? If the other person is being resistive of not showing up.
What exactly are you asking for?
How can we address through this access or any kind of tool for for a dying relationship or a marriage if the other person is quite resistive to show up? Or can we not?
So yeah, it depends on different things. So every night before you sleep, first of all, both the spouses both the partners have to start destroying and uncreating all the points of view that they have, destroy and uncreate all that their relationship has been so far. Okay, every night they have to destroy and uncreate that, followed by the clearing statement. When you start doing that, what it does is your past does not project onto the future. So usually when people get married, okay, they are happy and there are a whole lot of expectations, and then things do not work out, or you expect your spouse to stand up for you for some particular thing, and then the spouse chooses not to because of that family pressure, and he might not be willing to show up right now, or choose you over his family, so whatever reasons. And then as a you tend to start feeling that you feel like you feel taken for granted, you feel not loved enough, and you feel not really cared for because somebody is not willing to stand up for you, and you end up taking up all the nonsense from people just because your husband is not willing to stand up for you, or vice versa. Now, this is just a hypothetical example, but there are a lot of places where certain things in relationships will start showing up, which you keep having a lot of expectations. So that expectation starts killing the love that you have, or the nurturing that you might have for the other person, because those expectations are not being met. Now, just know that nobody else is in charge of your happiness. You are the only person in charge of your happiness. It's not anybody else's job to make that happen for you. Okay, so what can you be and do? If something is not working for you, be present to it and say, okay, what do I have to be and do to create this? What if you stopped depending on somebody else to make you happy? Now, when you ask that person is not showing up, what are the points of view that each one of you has about each other? Destroy and uncreate all of that. Destroy and uncreate all that your relationship has been till now. You can do it with relationships, you can do it with your business, you can do it with your family, you can do it with your bank balance, you can do it with anything. Okay, because now what will happen is all the past hurts, past pain, past expectations will not project onto the future. So every morning when you're waking up, you're now be willing to see the different nuances about that other person. You will start discovering new things about that person and be willing to receive them much more instead of holding grudges against them. That holding grudges is what sort of pushes people away. Okay, so if you've not done the foundation, there is lots that we talk about in that foundation class, and this is like a big topic. Relationships, this is huge, there's so much more to talk about, but right now this particular tool will start changing things for you, and both of you have to do it. Even if he or she is not doing it, you start doing it. It's awesome if both the partners do it. It's equal, it's faster change. But even if nobody else is, you start doing that. And most importantly, especially in marriages, what really hurts is when you're not honored, or people are just take you for granted. So instead of waiting for somebody to see your brilliance, instead of waiting for people to honor you, trust you, be willing to choose that for yourself first. Be willing to be present with yourself. Be willing to choose you. Be willing to trust you, honor you. Because the moment you start focusing on that, whatever energy that you are being, whatever you want others to treat you as, is how you first have to start treating yourself. We keep waiting for others to love us, to others to see our brilliance. But are we willing to see our own brilliance? Do we have faith in ourselves? Do we trust ourselves? Are we choosing to honor ourselves? If we are not, then people will just walk all over you. One of the examples you can do is simple thing, be present. So if you were all alone, suppose your family is gone on a vacation, or they're traveling, or they're not around, would you bother cooking for yourself? Like they've gone for 4 days. So those 4 days, what will you do? Will you cook for yourself, or would you order out, or would you go out by yourself and go to a restaurant, have or a fine dining restaurant, just sort of indulge yourself? What will you do? Or you'll say, it's okay, I'll just make Maggie, I'll just order some idli sambar, or what. Be
I
present.
will just make Maggie.
Right. So when you are not willing to honor and nurture your own body, why would anybody else do that? Okay. The moment you choose to actually nurture your body, be that space to actually take efforts to cook for yourself, right? Even if there's nobody else, that's when you are being totally present and honoring you. That's what will start creating. Okay. Till date, even I still run away from cooking for myself. I was like, big deal, I'll cook for everybody else, but yeah. So that's awesome, Preeti. I'll order biryani and ice cream. That's awesome. So be present with that. So Priyanshi, you can use that particular clearing, and that should start at least creating the change. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, and whatever else you asked is a bigger topic that we will talk about maybe some other time. It's like a huge thing.
Sure.
Relationships is like a big topic. There's so much to talk about in that. So let me start with the energy pull exercise. I think we're running out of time. Okay, so here's what you do. I want you to just lower your barriers. So imagine all those imaginary barriers that you have all around you. Just push them all down. Deepest barriers down. Just say deepest barriers down and push it down from all sides. Behind you, front of you, on the sides. Okay. Literally do it like this so that your body gets used to it. Other times you just have to just command, and that's it. Just ask your body, deepest barriers down. Okay. Now, so most of us, have been told that in order to create something, we need to put our desires out there in order to create it. But sometimes it's actually just the opposite. I found that inviting in what you'd like your life to be is far more effective. So start inviting these possibilities, these things, the kind of people you'd like in your life. Start inviting them into your life. Okay. So let's do that. Create a bubble, like a ball in front of you. Okay. It can be a bigger size, it can be a small size, whatever it is, whatever is comfortable for you. So just create a ball like this. You can give it a color if you want. I like to create a golden ball because it's fun. Okay, you can have whatever kind of color or whatever energy you want in that ball. Now call up the energy of what you'd really like to have in your life. Okay, so if you could ask for and have anything at all, what would it be? You guys can close your eyes and actually be present to what I'm saying. So if you could ask for and have anything at all, what would it be? And if there was absolutely no limitations in your world regarding time, money, creative and generative capacity, what would you ask for? So if you had a magic wand that would make anything come true for you now, what would you choose right away? Now, get the way it would feel to have all those things showing up for you. Get the energy of that. Don't think too much about it. Just ask for it, whatever it is. Just ask for it. Okay. So, for example, would you like to be able to have a nice home that has a particular feel to it? So, I'm not saying get the picture of a 4-bedroom or a 3-bedroom place. No, get the way it would feel to you to have the place in which you would love to live. Would you like to be able to travel? Get the energy of that and put it in. The kind of house you'd like to live in, get the energy of that. What it would be like to live in a house like that. Get that energy and put that into the energy ball exercise. Okay. Would you like to do the work that you thoroughly enjoyed? Every day when you went to do whatever it is to do, it was exciting, joyful, new, and it changed all the time and gave you more of you every single day. Would that be exciting for you? Get the way that would feel to get the energy of it and put it into your energy ball. So what I'm doing right now is just giving some possibilities, and you can add any of your own that you desire. Okay. So get the way that would feel, put that energy in front of you, sort of like into that energy ball, okay? Like if you're looking for a kind, caring, nurturing life partner, get that energy of that, what it would be like to be with such a person, the kind of nurturing that you would want to receive from such a person, okay? Even though you're married right now, get that energy that you would like, okay? You'll be amazed at how your spouse will start answering to that. So get that energy, put it into that energy ball, okay? What kind of relationship and or maybe sex, what kind of sex would you like? Put it, get the energy of that, put it into that energy ball exercise, okay? So if you could have anything in that realm, what would it feel like to have that, to wake up with that, to have that in your life, to have it around you, with you, okay? This is with whatever it is that you desire, and especially in case you're looking for a partner. What kind of relationship would you like to have with your family, with your friends, and what kind of relationship would you like to have with the planet, with the plants, with the animals? Put it all into that energy ball, okay? With the oceans, with the earth itself, and the very land under our feet. So what type of fun would you like to allow yourself to have and be? Get the way that would feel. How would you feel on a daily basis if you could have it? Put that in there too, okay? Now, pull energy into that energy bubble. You can also get the sense of the amount of money you would like to create and how effortlessly, that effortless ease with money. Get that energy of it, put that also into that energy bubble, okay? Now, start pulling energy into that energy bubble from entire universe, okay? Pull energy into that energy bubble of feeling from all over the universe. Keep pulling more and more and more and even more, like a whole tsunami of energy. Start pulling from the universe into that energy ball, and from that energy ball into your body and being and out of it, okay? So that's the flow of energy you have to create. From the universe into that energy ball, from that energy ball into your body and being and out of it. Just keep creating the flow of energy. Now, the universe is very, very large, okay? And it desires to give to you. So keep pulling more, more and even more. So that's it. What should be happening is that your heart is opening up as you pull more energy into these things that you actually desire. And it's like a really big universe. So don't stop where you are. Big universe. More. There's no limit to what you can ask for and receive, okay? Just pull in more. Now pull energy into it from all over the universe. Keep on pulling till your heart really opens up, okay? And when it does, be the energy of it for a moment, and then start letting little trickles go out to everyone and everything that's going to help make it a reality for you from all over the universe that you don't even know yet, okay? Send little trickles of that energy out to everyone who's going to bring all this to fruition for you. So you don't need to know their names. You don't need to know what they look like. They can be any part of the world, but they are the ones who will contribute to bringing all these things that you desire to fruition for you. Okay. So basically the energy bubble is based on the awareness of the energy that would be there if you actually had what you were asking for. Okay. And it's like a feeling. That's the easiest way to describe it. Okay. So when something like that, with whatever that you're asking for, when that starts showing up, something that matches the energy of what you're asking for, just go ahead and choose that. Okay. So everything that doesn't allow whatever it is that you're asked for right now in your energy ball exercise, everything that doesn't allow that to show up, will you destroy and uncreate it, please? Right, from good, bad, pot, all anxious, points and beyonds. All of the projections, expectations, separation, judgments, and rejections that you have about what life has to be that don't allow your living to be what it could be, will you destroy and uncreate it all, please? Right, from good, bad, pot, all anxious, points and beyonds. So this is, now you can let go of that energy ball. You can just release it. Okay. Now this is the way you invite the energy of what you'd like to have and create in your life. Okay. And when something that shows up that matches the energy of that feels like that matches whatever it is that you're asking for, just go choose that. It'll be people, it'll show up in the form of, you might be passing by a house, and if you're desiring to buy another house, there'll be one place, one house that will keep calling out to you, and you'll just know, I need to buy this. Everything will just work out. Pathways will open up and things will be effortless. Okay. So what I would invite you from the session is to ask for effortless ease, and with everything that you're choosing. So thank you so much, everyone. I think I went beyond time. I'm sorry, Vandana. I told you I'll just take 14 minutes, but once I start talking,
it's
sorry.
absolutely fine. You're not overtime. You're just on time.
Okay.
I think I do more overtime than that.
Okay.
So it's okay. I'm glad that you chose the topic of money, and as much as we all have been talking about the pain and everything that's not going very good, when this comes, it's like it's like in a desert area, just rain happened. So yeah, thank you for bringing this up, and thank you for the energy ball. Thanks for joining.
Thank you for inviting me.
And by the way,
Thank
to
you so
everybody
much.
here, tomorrow we are having Smriti again at 3 p.m. with us.
Wow, wow.
So those who want to join tomorrow 3 p.m., you can join in the 3 p.m. batch as well.
Thank you, Smriti.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Love
Thank you
you,
so
love
much.
you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Vandana.
Beautiful
Thank you,
nuggets.
Vandana.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Smriti.
Vandana, so much.
Smriti,
And
beautiful nuggets you have given.
Thank you.
And
Thank you so much.
so much,
Thank you, Vandana.
Thanks, Vanna.
you.
I'll
Thank you.
take your leave now.
Yes.
Okay.
Sure.
Thank you, everyone. I'm really grateful for all of you. And Vanna,
Thank you.
Yeah.
big hug.
I will share the recording with you as well. Yeah. Thank
Cool.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.